Hi teachers, welcome back to the Sunny Little Corner. I hope you're having a great week. I hope the Lord is blessing you and blessing your class and that you are just flowing freely in your teaching gifts. And you know that's what the Sunny Little Corner is all about, bringing the joy back into your teaching and just freeing yourself up, not to be handheld, tied down to mandates anymore, but just to really flow in the gift that God has given you. So we are so excited to be a part of all of that in your classroom. So last week we went over the Reading Club notebooks and how to explain that to your parents. So what I wanted to do this week is kind of show you a Reading Club notebook that's actually being used right now. This is a student that I held hers back today. Her name is Aubrey, and this is her Reading Club notebook. As we discussed last week, we present these to the students and we shake their hands and take their picture and congratulate them. It's their first step on their journey to reading. And they just did such a great, they were so excited about it, and they've done such a great job with their Reading Club notebooks this week. I'm very excited and thrilled. I'm also really excited. This is the first year to implement the writing beat song, and I am really blown away at how excellent they're writing. This class can already write all their letters, A through Z, correctly. So that's really saying something since we're only into about day 37 of kindergarten. So I want to demonstrate that to you probably next week, as well as show you the assessment page. But right now, let's talk about the Reading Club notebook. So, you know, inside your Reading Club notebook, you've already ran off the page, the I Practice Every Day page. And I hope that you can see that. And you can tell that this parent has been initialing it, and the blue checks are just where I've checked them, because when your students come up for reading club, we don't call it small group instruction, we call it our reading clubs. When your students come up for reading clubs, that's the first thing you do is say, okay, boys and girls, let me see who's been practicing every day. And again, just to reiterate something that we went over last week, and that is the fact that this is called I Practice Every Day, but we know soccer practice is going to come up, or church, or whatever. So if they miss a night here or there, it's perfectly fine. You don't want them to miss too many of those. Should be consistency. Again, this zipper pouch is for their leveled readers. And we have not started yet our Sunny Little Sight Word book, but that will be in here soon. So we're going to go to section 1. I would like for you to see. So this student, for an example, you can see that last week she was assigned section 2, 4, 5, and 6, and then today she was assessed, and she got her happy face, and all the green checks indicate that she mastered those skills. It is amazing, and you will be amazed at how fast the students take ownership to their own learning and become leaders of their own learning, and we know that's a huge topic in education right now. But they have already finished just page 1 in section 4, or just this first assessment, and they're already saying, can we do the next page? Can we do the next page? So as the teacher, you truly become just the facilitator of their learning. They are excited and they want to go on to the next step, which, as I was telling a friend of mine today, it's really no different than us as adults, because we make out a list and we want to check off our list and get things done, and that's the same premise behind the students doing the same thing. So again, now she's been assigned section 2 and section 4. Now I can always come back and add more, which I usually tend to do, here's the assessment date, about 10 days out from now. So let's go through and look. So this past week in section 2, we went over our green light letter page. We watched the video. The teacher, you will model it for them several times before they have it themselves. And remember, we don't pass out this page until we've covered all the way through the letter G. Whole group, the letter G is now a green light letter, and all of these are. So now we go through and we assess them. We're playing the writing beat song to make sure that they are forming their letters correctly. You know, we talked about the research that says there's a correlation between the way a student forms their letters and their success in the area of reading. So we want to make sure that they are forming those letters correctly. So again, she got to color in her green little dots, or you can put sticky dots on there, or you can draw happy faces, whatever you want to do as a teacher. It's a big deal when they get to color in their green happy face and get the green check, and we're ready to move on to the next page. So this page has a pink check on it. Again, the students are not allowed to write on this page. You have told parents they are to name it and sound it, but they practice writing the letters in class on separate pieces of paper, or they practice in writing tablets at home. Now, on assessment day, they do actually write on these lines, okay? So this page is going to look like this for the next 2 weeks. They're going to name it, sound it, and track along with the song. And then she had There's nothing assigned yet in section 3. Our word families, I have not assigned that yet. You may choose to do that with your word families book. They probably are ready for the at family, so that's totally up to you. Again, like I've said many times, this has a lot of teacher autonomy in this program, which you'll love. And then, so we did the daily practice preview, which as you can see is a very basic page. And we did that whole group many times together, and then today the students were assessed. You can assess students individually if you would like to do that, or you can assess them at their reading club and just monitor them, make sure they're tracking, make sure that they are saying all the sounds correctly and moving right along. So you can see we had the blending practice and we had the words at the bottom. The sight words at the bottom. One thing I would like to say that we're very excited about at the Reading Academy is our brand new daily practice student workbook. So now you will have this in your kit if you've already purchased the Sunny Little Corner kit, but this is sold separately, and it is the same daily practice that you're getting here. The only difference is that these pages are color coded, which really helps to scaffold the support to your learner. You can see the color coding there. It kind of helps them break down those individual sounds. And it goes all the way through every single phonics skill in our language. So it's a very powerful book. I met with some reading coaches just this week, and the way that they're going to use this is they're going to purchase one of these for all of their kindergarten students, and then next year the kindergarten student will take this with them to the first grade. Or what will happen actually is the teachers will collect these at the end of the kindergarten year, because we're thinking that kindergarten students will probably get up to about less than 25. Could be less than that, could be more, depending on the teacher, depending on the student. But then they'll keep these, they'll have the student name on them, and they'll pick up where they left off when they start their first grade year. And then by the end of first grade, or certainly by the end of first grade, maybe by the end of the first or second semester, they will have completed the whole book. And they will have covered every phonics skill. So that's really something we're very excited about. And again, those are sold separately, but you will have these black line masters to run copies of for section 4. And so you will see that now they are given daily practice 1. We had finished the preview, and now we're on to daily practice 1. So this was the page that the students were so excited about getting. And then they, in section 5 this week, we assessed the apples poem. We've just finished up the month of September. So we did our apples poem, and now we're going to just start going in alphabetical order with our poetry pages. And again, the student, you can see she did a great illustration. This is another reason why the parents love it, because it's a great collection of their child's work. So today, the last thing I want to do before we say goodbye is I'm going to take this poetry page, and I'm going to take it over to my smart board, and I'm just going to show you how we would do that with whole group instruction. Okay, teachers, so we want to model for you poetry pages. As you're passing out your page for poetry pages, you can do the first one whole group, and you may choose to do all of them whole group. It's totally up to you. But just to model how you would approach this, so you're passing out the poem to your students, and as you're passing out, you're saying that you're reciting the poem. So you're saying, apples are so good to eat. To have one is a special treat. Red, green, yellow, too, all of them are good for you. Boys and girls, listen again. And you're passing out the papers. Apples are so good to eat, to have one. So you do it again like that. And so they're hearing the poem before you ever give it to them. Then you have their eyes up here on the smart board. Boys and girls, watch Miss Vann. I'm going to teach you how to track along. So you say, apples. What's my title? Apples. All right, watch me track along. Everyone's looking and listening. Apples are so good to eat. To have one is a special treat. So you go through and you model how to track. Tracking is very, very important in the Sunny Little Corner classroom. So you want to make sure that they are tracking right along, and they'll be able to, hopefully be able to see word for word for word. Now, keep in mind, I'm using a student copy because I just couldn't put my hands on a blank copy quick enough for the video. But pretend that this is all blank and it has no highlighting on it. So after you read through the poem, you can say, okay, boys and girls, join with me. It's always the I do, we do, and then they do. So they're second phase through it. They're going to join with you, and you're going to say, together, apples are so good to eat. And you read it again with the students all the way through. You have not talked about these words at the bottom yet. You know what, boys and girls? Reading is not hard. Reading is so much fun, and it really is easy. as I'm reading along here, boys and girls, I'm noticing here's some of our color words that we've already learned. Boys and girls, what is this color word? Red. That's right, the color word red. You just found the color word red, so you read that word. What is this color word? Green. Yes, it is the color word green. Great job. Boys and girls, look on this poem. Can you find one of our number words? Can you find the number word 1? Boys and girls, point to the number word 1. Very good. Okay, so Johnny, were you pointing here? No, ma'am. Johnny, were you pointing here? No. Let me see where. Oh, wait a minute. Were you pointing here? Yes. All right, great job. You did find the number word 1. Great job. All right, so that's how you're going to kind of present that. Boys and girls, this page is so special because it's got a little smiley face right here. Now, don't color in that smiley face until your teacher assesses you on this poem. But the day that I assess you, I want to make sure that you can read all of these words. So let's practice reading them now. What word? Red, green. So you're going to go through those. You can read it first. They can read it together. Then you can call on individual students to read it. Then you're going to use the teaching strategy that we've gone over in some of our workshops, which is just a simple strategy called buzz your finger, buzz your finger. Boys and girls, buzz, buzz, buzz. Look on your own paper, and as fast as you can, land on the color word green. Very good. Land on you, Y-O-U. We have a cheer for you that's taught in one of our workshops. Okay, so we're going to do the cheer and the chant for you. Y-O-U spells you. Okay, now, boys and girls, we get to do a word search with our poem. So what you're going to do, a word search, is where you're actually looking for these words up in our poem. So let's do that together. So they're going to just observe you, and you're going to highlight these. When I say highlight, don't use a highlighter because it will smear the ink, I have found. So just a yellow crayon is fine. So you're going to highlight it first, and then they can do it with their pages. So after they have practiced tracking along, you're going to walk around and make sure that they're tracking along, helping the ones that need assistance, giving that support, and then read through it several times, then have them do it on their own. Then you can say, red table, read it, blue table, read it, girls read it, boys read it. Give opportunities for them to read it alone, individually like that. Now, keep in mind that part of the reading process is memorization. Are they going to memorize these poems? Yes, they're going to memorize the poems, and that's perfectly fine. What we're really making sure is that they know how to track, that they're doing one-to-one correspondence with words as they're tracking, and you're really assessing them on this very basic sight word list or the word list that will be here. Remember, and you can see this in your poetry pages, that every page has a basic and an advanced page. But right now we're going to start off, especially in kindergarten, with just our basic words. First grade teachers, use your own discretion. You might want to go ahead and start with the advanced pages. But anyway, so that's pretty much how you would do your poetry pages and how it would be introduced. I hope that was helpful, teachers. Have a great week.